Tragic death, loudly crying young and restless Jill Abbott died. Very sad update. Genoa City was wrapped in a heavy silence that morning, the kind that seemed to seep into the bones of everyone who called the small town home. Dark clouds gathered above the Chancellor Mansion, casting a somber shadow over the place Jill Foster Abbott had proudly called her sanctuary. The news had already started to spread. Jill Abbott, the fiery matriarch whose presence had defined the lives of so many, was gone. It happened suddenly. Late the previous night, Jill was found unresponsive in her bedroom by Esther Valentine. The loyal housekeeper had rushed upstairs after Jill failed to answer her calls for dinner. "I knew something was wrong," Esther whispered tearfully later, her voice shaking. "Jill always made sure to let me know if she was busy. When I opened the door and saw her lying there, Esther broke down, unable to finish her sentence. Jill had suffered a massive heart attack. Doctors at Memorial Hospital did everything they could, but it was too late. The woman who had fought her way through countless battles, family feuds, corporate wars, affairs, and heartbreak, died quietly in the early hours of the morning. She was 77. Shock waves through Genoa City. News of Jill's death struck Genoa City like a lightning bolt. Catherine Chancellor's beloved frenemy, the ambitious businesswoman who could walk into any room and command attention, was simply gone. Billy Abbott was among the first to receive the call. When he arrived at the mansion, his eyes were red, his hands trembling. "She was more than my mother," he said quietly, staring at the floor. "She was, Jill. Strong, unstoppable. I don't know how I'm supposed to move forward without her." Devin Hamilton stood silently nearby, holding back tears. Jill had been a guiding force in the Chancellor Winters family company, and in many ways, she had been a mother figure to Devin as well. "She was the one who reminded me of my worth when I doubted myself," Devin said. "She taught me that being ruthless in business doesn't mean you can't have a heart." Nina Webster, an old friend, clutched a framed photo of Jill and Catherine. "She outlived Catherine, and I always thought she'd outlive us all," Nina whispered. "She was larger than life. You never imagined someone like Jill Abbott could die. But now we're left with this void that no one can fill." Memories flood in. As word spread, the Chancellor Mansion became a gathering place. Friends, family, and colleagues filled the house, each one sharing their favorite Jill Abbott story. There were so many. Her legendary business maneuvers at Abbott and Chancellor Industries, where she would outsmart even the savviest competitors. The countless times she stood up for her family, even when they didn't deserve it. Her complex but unbreakable relationship with Catherine Chancellor, a rivalry and friendship that had defined both women. One particularly moving memory came from Billy. He recalled the day his gambling addiction had nearly destroyed him. "Mom didn't give up on me," he said. "She dragged me back from the edge. She made me promise I'd fight for my life, for my kids. She saved me more times than I can count." The funeral plans. Plans for Jill's funeral began almost immediately, but no one could agree on how to do justice to a woman who lived life on such a grand scale. "She'd want it to be fabulous," Billy said with a half-hearted smile. "She'd want the flowers to be perfect, the music to be dramatic, and the guest list to be full of people who loved her, and maybe a few who didn't." But there was another question looming over the Abbott family: who would take over Jill's responsibilities at Chancellor Winters? With her gone, the company's future was uncertain. Jill had been the glue that held the enterprise together, balancing the ambitions of Devin, Lily, and Billy. Still, Billy made one thing clear: we'll honor Mom by keeping everything she built alive. She didn't fight for this company all her life just to have it crumble. A letter from Jill. Later that evening, Esther found an envelope addressed simply, "For my family." Inside was a handwritten letter from Jill. Her words, now read aloud to those gathered, left everyone in tears. "If you're reading this, then I'm gone. But don't waste your time mourning me. I've lived a life most people only dream about. I loved fiercely, I fought hard, and I made more mistakes than I can count, but I have no regrets. Take care of each other. Family is everything. Remember, even in death, I'll always be watching over you. And don't you dare let Chancellor Winters fall apart. Keep fighting. That's what I would have done. Love always, Jill. As Billy's voice cracked reading the last line, everyone in the room wept. The letter was pure Jill, unapologetic, strong, and full of love. The impact on Genoa City. Jill Abbott's death marked the end of an era. She had been a cornerstone of Genoa City society, a woman who had shaped the lives of everyone around her. Without her, things would never be the same. Victor Newman, a man who had sparred with Jill countless times over the years, delivered a rare, heartfelt statement. Jill Abbott was a formidable woman, he said. She challenged me, infuriated me, and earned my respect. Genoa City will be poorer without her. Even Jack Abbott, Jill's longtime rival and former lover, was visibly shaken. She was part of the fabric of my life, Jack said softly. She was family, in the best and worst ways. I'll miss her more than I can say. A lasting legacy. In the days following her death, the people of Genoa City began to realize just how much Jill had given them. She had been a mother, a mentor, a friend, and sometimes a fierce adversary. But above all, she had been a woman who refused to back down from anything. Billy summed it up best at the private family memorial. Mom lived life her way, and she never apologized for it. If we want to honor her, we have to do the same. We have to keep fighting, keep loving, and keep building the future she believed in. As the sun set over Genoa City that evening, the skies finally cleared. It felt, for a moment, as if Jill Abbott herself was sending a message. She was at peace. And though she was gone, her spirit would live on in every boardroom battle, every family dinner, and every corner of the Chancellor Mansion. Jill Abbott had left a mark on the world, one that no one would ever forget.